Welcome to Football with Cheese. So in this video, we're going to discuss the Buffalo Bills and the firing of their head coach, Sean McDermott, what it means for the franchise, what I think they should have done. Besides firing McDermott, someone else should have been fired. But first, if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell for notifications so you never miss one of my videos. Me and my buddy Mike, we do the Lights Out podcast every Tuesday night, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. Link in the description where we talk baseball, college football, and of course NFL. We will discuss this. So Sean McDermott, his record is 148-98, I believe. And he went 8-8 in the playoffs. So that's not great. Although a certain coach who was 3-6 in the playoffs just got a contract extension. But Sean McDermott was let go because he didn't have enough playoff success. Josh Allen's your quarterback. He's one of the best, if not the best, in the NFL. You need to win in the postseason. That's pretty much why he's gone. But basically, the expectations were high. The Ravens and Chiefs aren't in the playoffs. It was their AFC to win. At least that's what I think the Bills ownership and GM were thinking. More on GM Brandon Beane in a second. But I did hear that if they lost to Jacksonville, that Sean McDermott might be fired. But when they beat the Jaguars, a lot of people thought, even if they go to Denver and lose, he's probably safe. And that was not the case. Do I think Sean McDermott is a great coach? I do not. Do I think he's terrible? I also do not think so. He's a defensive background. A lot of games in the playoffs, it's their defense that was the problem. Pass defense is very good, but the run defense is terrible, and it's been terrible for years. Now let's talk about General Manager Brandon Beane. He came over from Carolina, so did Sean McDermott, so there was a connection there, probably why he hired him. In 2017, so he's been there for quite a while, and the Bills have made 7 straight playoffs. So Sean McDermott's made the playoffs 7 straight years, 8-8 in the postseason, 8 of 9 years as a head coach. So the Bills make the playoffs just about every year, and they never get to the Super Bowl. They haven't been in the Super Bowl since the early 90s. Now, Brandon Beane did pick Josh Allen. Good selection. Drafted James Cook. They've got some really good tight ends, good offensive line, good secondary. But overall, the roster has not been good enough. And what Brandon Beane did, and this is not talked about enough, is he designed a team to beat the Chiefs. He designed a team to beat one specific team. They always seem to beat the Chiefs in the regular season, and they lose to them in the playoffs. And the Chiefs don't even try to run the ball most games. So Brandon Beane doesn't care about run defense. He likes to have real athletic defensive linemen that can rush the passer to put pressure on Patrick Mahomes. So he doesn't care about run defense at all because you don't have to have a good run defense when you play the Chiefs. But that's a problem. You cannot design a team just to beat the Chiefs, just to beat one opponent. Because that team didn't even make the playoffs. And you will struggle against teams that run the ball. And that has been a problem in a lot of their playoff losses. It's been a problem this year when the defense collapsed in some games. And so I think Brandon Beane is at fault as much or maybe more than Sean McDermott. I'm surprised they didn't make a change. He's leading the search for a new head coach. Now, this seems like a great job, maybe the best job out there because you have Josh Allen, because you have Dalton Kincaid and Dawson Knox and James Cook. But I don't know. Do you want to work with Brandon Beane? His draft this past year, he just went all in on defense. He did take Jackson Hawes in the 5th round, tight end, very good pick, but he went all in on defense until the 5th round. Maxwell Harrison, up and down, looks like he'll be pretty good, cornerback. TJ Sanders, awful, traded up for him, defensive tackle. He was terrible this year, horrific run defender. Also took another defensive tackle in the 4th round, Deion Walker. He's nose tackle size, but he's better at rushing the passer. He's a terrible run defender. He plays way too high. And Landon Jackson, their 3rd round pick. I like that pick a lot. He barely played this year. So they didn't get enough out of the draft. They drafted to beat the Chiefs with this draft. We lost the Chiefs in the AFC title game almost every year. When we lose, it's to the Chiefs. And so let's draft players to beat them. And you didn't even play them. Now, it really sucks, that call in the Denver game. I think it was a catch. Most people do. I really hate the NFL's statement about it. Because most of the time, in just about every other game, that's a catch. Brandon Cooks had the ball, was down, still had possession. It was ripped out after. So horrible call in overtime. If that's a catch, the Bills are, I think, in field goal range or very close. Probably changes the outcome of the game. And that is the main reason right now Sean McDermott doesn't have a job. Obviously, if they had won, they'd be playing at New England. And if he wins that, I don't think he can fire him no matter what. If he loses it, maybe he still gets fired. I don't know. Let me know in the comments. Do you think if they had won the game but still lost to the rival New England next week, if he still keeps his job? I still think there's a chance he would have been fired. I think it's Super Bowl or bust for the Bills. I think they were going to fire Sean McDermott unless he made it to the Super Bowl. But the Bills just have too many flaws. The receiving core. Oh, I haven't even talked about that. Brandon Beane has done a horrible job since trading Stephon Diggs. He will not get Josh Allen, even a number 1 or 2 receiver. I like Khalil Shakur. He's a slot receiver. He's a great number 3, probably a below average number 2. And the rest of the receiving core has been terrible. Remember when they signed Marcus Valdez-Scantling? They were desperate for a receiver. But Brandon Cooks, desperation. Keon Coleman, terrible pick. Absolutely horrible pick. Lab McConkey was available, by the way. Who else? We got Curtis Samuel. We have Josh Palmer. Oh, my God. It's a terrible receiving core. For the most part, number 3, 4, and 5 receivers. You have to have at least a number 1 or 2. So the run defense stinks. And Josh Allen, a lot of times, is running for his life because the receivers do not separate. In the NFL playoffs, you can't have major weaknesses. You can have minor weaknesses. Every team has weaknesses. The Eagles, who won the Super Bowl last year, they had weaknesses. But you can't have major weaknesses. And the Bills have 2. Wide receiver and run defense. And that is a huge problem. And so Sean McDermott, I don't think he's a great coach. I would just move on from both McDermott and Beane. That's what I would do. So let me know in the comments. Do you agree with this decision? Or do you think Beane should have been fired as well as McDermott? Or do you think just Beane should have been fired and Sean McDermott should have kept his job? Let me know. Last thing, who should be the new coach of the Bills? Obviously, John Harbaugh and Kevin Stefanski are gone. I could see Joe Brady getting the job. He's the current offensive coordinator. You keep the same offense. Makes a lot of sense. He got some head coaching interviews. I don't always love his play calling. I do like that he runs the ball. He has Josh Allen, but doesn't get too pass happy like the Rams get sometimes with Stafford because we have such a great quarterback. Let's just keep passing. So I like that it's a balanced offense. So he's definitely a candidate. Somebody texted me and said Mike McDaniel might be the next head coach. We'll see. I kind of like that, the combination with Josh Allen. I just don't know if they hire Miami's failed head coach. And one more I want to mention. I wonder if they're going to go after Jeff Hafley. He's rumored to be the favorite in Miami, and he's interviewed with a bunch of teams. So it's possible the Titans and Cardinals also want him. But if I'm the Bills, I'd give him a call. He's the natural leader. And the Bills players on the defensive side of the ball would be a really good fit for Jeff Hafley. He likes to play press man and cover 3. Those are the 2 things he does. And the Bills can do that with the personnel they have. So I would absolutely call Jeff Hafley. Not only would you get a really good defensive coach and a leader, but you take him away from Miami. So let me know also in the comments, who do you think should be the next Bills head coach? If you enjoyed this, give me a thumbs up. Really helps out the channel. Share this with anyone who loves football as we continue to roll football with cheese. Once again, me and Mike do the Lights Out podcast every Tuesday night, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. Link in the description. Look out for my next video. It's going to be about the Green Bay Packers leadership. Ed Policy, Brian Gutekunst, Matt LaFleur, the 3 of them, how they're tied together and why it's a huge problem, in my opinion. I did a video earlier today about the Rams and Bears game. I recapped it, but also talked about how it kind of looks scripted. So make sure you check it out if you have not. I'll put it here, and I'll see you in the next video.